what is actually this small talk and when to use it, how to use it. And I hope that now you're clear that it is actually a very powerful tool to socialize, to network, and to make. Hello, everybody. How are you all? Hope you're doing great. So, welcome back to another session of learning English with me, improving your conversation skills. And today's topic is going to be small talk, because small talk is something that can change your conversation game. Believe me, if you feel hesitant while making conversation with somebody, small talk can change your game, because small talk is a very powerful tool, something that we neglect, but it is very important. And in today's lesson, I am going to tell you what is exactly small talk and how and when can you use it, so that you become great at making conversations in English. So are you all ready for this? I'm Shivangi Gupta, your certified English language tutor, certified by the University of Cambridge, the UK. And before beginning, please subscribe the channel so that you can get all the lessons that I upload on the channel for you. Please like the video and share it with your friends too. Now, coming back to today's lesson, that is on my favorite topic, that's small talk. Now, small talk. What is exactly small talk? The name can be a bit confusing. Small talk means small conversation, little conversation. No, definitely not. Small talk means casual and light conversation. Casual and light conversation that is often made at the beginning of a particular conversation or to make the atmosphere comfortable. Yes, small talk is basically a talk, a conversation, a light and casual conversation on something that is not so much significant. For example, weather. That's the most common topic of small talk. Weather. Oh, isn't it lovely today? Oh, have you looked at the weather? I think it's going to rain today. So these are basically the small talk openers related to weather that people often use. Small talk means making light and casual conversation. It does not mean that you're just having a conversation of 1 minute, maybe just a small conversation. No, it can go up to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on both the parties, depending on how much they want to speak, how much they're engaging in that particular conversation. And if both the parties, they're extroverts, believe me, it will definitely go up to 10 minutes. Definitely it will. So small talk. What is small talk? Again, I'm telling you, it's a casual conversation. Now, what kind of casual conversation? When to use this casual conversation? See, small talk is a conversation that is often made at social gatherings. Social gatherings or events. Because you use small talk whenever you're meeting somebody either new or an acquaintance after a long time. For example, you're meeting somebody new, maybe you're at a cafe and you bumped into a stranger. You might apologize for bumping and then you might make a small talk just to let the environment become comfortable. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't look at you. Well, how's your day? Oh, so you're from here? You're around here? Okay, oh, nice day. I wish you a nice day. So this is how you are going to make small talk, a casual conversation. So small talk is used with a stranger, somebody you are meeting for the first time. Maybe you want to build your network, you want to build better connections, use small talk. You're meeting your friend after a long time, use small talk. You bumped into an acquaintance. Now, acquaintances are actually people you know. It can be a colleague, it can be a friend, it can be anybody who you know. So it can be a neighbor, it can be anybody that you know. So that's an acquaintance and you meet them at an unexpected place. You make small talk with them. So whenever you're meeting somebody, that is the time you're going to make small talk with them so that you can start a conversation. Often small talk is used to start any conversation. Now, when to use small talk? Now, small talk is something that is casual in nature but considered sometimes professional. Why? Because you use it often at formal events and networking events. Yes, it is something that is used a lot at formal events and networking events because you want to build a network. How are you going to approach the second person? Okay, you are interested in talking to this particular person. You think that this person can be a great asset in your working network, the kind of professional network you're building. You want to approach them, talk to them. Just go and start a small talk. That is a talk about maybe your hobbies, what are they doing, what's the weather. As I told you, a casual conversation, a light conversation. Often it is said that small talk is about insignificant things because the weather is like it's not that significant, right? It's not gonna change the world, it's not gonna bring a sudden change in the economic world, not the political world. So that is why it is said that small talk is like you're talking about insignificant things. But believe me, even though you're talking about insignificant things, it helps you develop significant relationships, it helps you build significant connections. Yes, so small talk is used both as a casual conversation starter and as a formal networking strategy in both the manners. Now I'm going to tell you about how to use small talk. So let's come to the part 2 of this particular lesson, how to use a small talk and when to use it. Now when I say how to use a small talk, in how I would suggest some topics for you. How to use a small talk? Basically, you have to approach a person, that you have to do. You have to have those guts to walk up to somebody and then talk to them, approach them. That ball is in your court. You have to do it. What you can do after that is small talk, which I am going to tell you how to do it. Right? So you approach them and you start talking about something. It can either be a compliment. Pay attention, it can be a compliment. It can be about weather. It can be about your hobbies. It can be about the current affairs, or it can be about the event that you are attending. And the easiest way to start any small talk at a formal event is to start talking about that particular event. So, are you liking the event? What was the best part of this event that you liked? Some particular starters, small talk starters, conversation starters that you can use. So, these are some topics that you can use to begin a small talk. And then it can go up to 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Then you can come to the main point. Maybe you can ask them for their experience in a particular work field. You might ask them something, ask them how they apply to this particular position, whatever and wherever they're working. You can then change the direction of your conversation wherever you want to take it. In a more professional manner, yes, in a more casual manner, however you want to. So that is how you're gonna make small talk. And now, when to use small talk? Let's also know about that. Okay, coming to the last part of this particular lesson, that is when to make small talk. That's very important. If you do not know when to make small talk, it can land you in trouble because this is a kind of casual conversation, a light conversation. So you have to use small talk, number one, in networking events. As I suggested, that it's a networking strategy. So definitely you can use it in any networking event. You're going to a networking event. Why? So that you can build connections. You want to build professional connections. How are you going to build professional connections? If you would not approach anybody, if you would not talk to anybody, then how will you make those connections? You cannot build good connections if you will not speak something to somebody. And for that, small talk is your savior. So go make some small talk whenever you're attending a networking event. Number two is formal events. Now, formal events can be a business meeting, but whenever you're having a business meeting, small talk is not going to be a very lengthy one. No, it's just going to be about maybe how all of them are doing, the members are doing, or maybe what's the weather like, oh, are you up for the presentation? Did you have your lunch? Something like that, something casual, maybe just a question or such in a casual manner, and then coming to the main point. That is what is important in a business meeting because that's a formal event, that's business meeting. Now, if you're attending a kind of formal event, for example, maybe an after party, maybe a business event, maybe an exhibition, a business exhibition, maybe an expo. So what you have to do is you have to use small talk again in order to build your network, in order to approach persons that you want to connect to. Maybe you're looking for some recruiters, you want to approach a particular company, maybe people from your dream company and all that. Go approach them and start small talk. Number three is going to be the casual encounters. Yes, the casual encounters. Casual encounters, like maybe you are taking a walk and you bumped into your neighbor. Small talk. That we often do, don't we? We often do that. We talk to them in our native language, but yeah. So use small talk in English whenever you bump into your maybe neighbor, your colleague, you're meeting your colleague, maybe in a marketplace. Small talk. So casual encounters are going to be encounters where you're not expecting to meet a person, but they are your known person, they are your acquaintance, and you met them at some place, maybe a friend, a colleague, maybe a friend that you have not met in a long time. That is also a casual encounter. So at that particular time, you use small talk to initiate conversation and also to make the environment comfortable. Number four is going to be the social gatherings. Now, social gathering, for example, a get together, maybe a family get together, maybe a friends get together, maybe you're going to some kind of social event. I'm not saying formal event, no. A social event can be a wedding of a cousin or maybe something else, a social event. So whenever you are attending a social event, you're going to social gatherings, you can use small talk because you might meet people that you haven't met in days, in months, and then you can use small talk to start a conversation. Again, make the environment light. And yes, in social gatherings, we use small talk. Number five, the last one is going to be traveling. So whenever you're traveling, maybe you're traveling to a different country, a different state, a different city, or maybe you are just casually, you're going out on an outing in your own city and you're in a cafe. Again, like I've given you the example of a stranger in the beginning. Similarly, whenever you bump into somebody, you are there, maybe you're approaching a seat, another person is approaching the same seat, and you are thinking that, okay, let's give other person the seat because they approached it first. You can just make some small talk at that particular time so that both the parties, they don't feel bad about it. This is a very good way to end any conflict, and this is a very good way to socialize, to become a socialized being, and also to practice your conversation skills, isn't it? So small talk at that time is going to be a great way to come out of that particular situation. So small talk is used while traveling. You meet strangers, just greet them, talk to them for some time, and then you go on your own way. And that happens too a lot of times in our lives. Doesn't that? Yeah, that happens, right? So the thing is that small talk is a part of your life, both formal and casual, both formal and informal. So use it in formal events to what? To build network, to lighten the mood, to break the ice, and to build rapport. Building rapport is very important if you want to build formal connections, strong formal connections. And then we use small talk in casual settings to catch up with our friends. Yes, catching up. Or whenever we are meeting them after some time to start a conversation, we use small talk. Now, I'm going to tell you a secret here, something. Approaching your boss for maybe asking permission for something or maybe informing about something is not small talk. If you think that that's a formal thing, but that is not small talk. Again, I've told you small talk is basically casual conversation. So asking permission for something is not small talk. You're talking to your boss, and that is inside the office premises. That is not small talk, and that is not also a lunchtime or a casual time where your boss is coming to you and maybe he or she, that person, is trying to make some light conversation. No, you are in a highly professional setup at that time, so that is not small talk. You are informing your parents about something, you're sitting in the house, that is not small talk. No, again, I've told you small talk is for events and gatherings. When you go outside and meet people, that is what is small talk. That is when the small talk is used. When you make conversation with people outside, when you go to gatherings, when you go to events, and you make conversation, casual conversation, that is small talk. So if you're accompanying your boss to a particular formal event and there you are engaging in casual conversation with your boss, maybe over dinner or over lunch, you can have small talk, no worries, not inside the office premises, when you're on the clock, when you are so serious about your work and you're interrupting them between some work for maybe a permission, application, whatever it is, whatever is the work, that is not the time to make small talk. But yeah, if you're going to a particular formal event with your boss or you're meeting your boss at a particular social gathering, in a social event, yeah, you can make small talk there. You can definitely make small talk with your boss too. No issue. In fact, I would suggest these are the good manners to approach them and make small talk if you're meeting them casually outside of the office premises. So now I hope you are absolutely clear what is actually this small talk and when to use it, how to use it. And I hope that now you're clear that it is actually a very powerful tool to socialize, to network, and to make good conversations in English. The secret to becoming good at any conversation. Start with the small talk. So that is it. That was the lesson for today. That's it. I hope you're gonna love it and you're going to apply whatever I've suggested today in this lesson. You're gonna use small talk from now on and you're gonna engage in better conversations. Now I'm gonna meet you next time with a new lesson. Till then, everybody take care and bye.